So इसके पहले तुम लोगों को माइक्रोबायोलॉजी ऑफ वाटर, माइक्रोबायोलॉजी ऑफ सॉइल, ये दोनों कवर किया जा चुका है. एंड today's topic is microbiology of air, है ना. So the microorganism present in air is known as the study of microorganism present in air is known as the aeromicrobiology. And in the present presentation you will see the transmission of airborne microorganisms, their physical environmental stress, what are the bacterial disease transmitted by the airborne or airborne fungal disease transmitted by air itself, and a similar virus transmitted by the air, by air only, and control of those microorganisms in air. So aeromicrobiology, you all know, is the study of living microorganism suspended in the air. So how this airborne microorganism transmitted from one person to another person? These organisms are transmitted by either coughing or sneezing, and these air microorganisms are carried by the dust particle and the droplet nuclei. The physical environmental stress who either increase or decrease the activity or growth of microorganism in environment is desiccation. Desiccation will surely decrease the spread of microorganism. Humidity will increase the spread of microorganism. Temperature rise in temperature generally reduce the transmission of microorganism. Likewise, radiation will decrease the transmission of microorganism. And indoor air sometimes transmit the certain diseases like the tubercle, bacilli, etc. Similarly, outdoor air is responsible for transmutation of algae, protozoa, yeast, mold, and mold, especially cladosporium, are transmitted by the outdoor air, and many of the bacterial species, non-spore and the spore formers, etc., are transmitted by the outdoor air. Now, these are the certain bacterial species which are generally present in the air, like Micrococcus sarcina, gram-negative rods, gram-positive rods, aerobic spore-forming bacteria. Similarly, in fungi species, Cladosporium, Alternaria, Pullularia, Penicillium, Botrytis, and Stemphylium, etc., are present in the air. ये बीच में तुम लोग ज्वाइन करते हो, मेरा ये हैंग हो जाता है, फिर से स्टार्ट करना पड़ जाता है. तुम लोग टाइम पे ज्वाइन ही नहीं करते. और so we will discuss certain airborne bacterial disease, certain fungal species, and certain virus species, viral species. So airborne bacterial disease, the most commonly airborne bacterial disease is diphtheria, and it is acute contagious disease caused by Corynebacterium diphtheria, and the symptom includes fibrous pseudomembrane on respiratory mucosa, myocardial and neural tissue damage. Symptoms include sore throat, as you can see in this picture that this baby is having swollen neck. It's since the throat is sore, so it became swollen, and low fever followed by cutaneous lesion on the body is the characteristic feature of diphtheриal disease. अब हम बीच में ना किसी को अलाउ नहीं करेंगे, ठीक है ना, ये हैंग हो जाता है, पता है बार बार. Now another airborne bacterial disease transmitted by air is Mycobacterium tuberculosis, and this disease initiated by inhalation of the air in which that bacterial species is present, and symptom includes chronic cough, blood-tinged septum, night sweats, and weight loss. You can see in this picture that long-term coughing, sometimes bloods come out with the chills, fever, chest pain, and fatigue. These are the characteristic feature of the tuberculosis disease. And you can see in this picture that this man is having infected, lungs, and this tuberculosis implant itself in the lung tissue, and when this person cough or sneeze, this bacteria come out with the droplets and can infect the nearby person. So another disease that are caused by the airborne bacteria is Neisseria meningitis, and its name indicates that is in fact obviously meninges, that is the brain cells, and symptoms include headache, neck stiffness, sometimes fever, confusion, photophobia, that means the irritation with the light, and phonophobia, that means the irritation with the sound also. Now, the another disease is viral disease, and it is what are those viral diseases that are transmitted by air? Are smallpox, the most common disease. Smallpox, you must be knowing the symptom of smallpox, and so this is just a eruption on the body, all over the body, and it is caused by the poxviridae family, variola majors, and it is localized in small blood vessels of skin and mouth. Rashes and fluid blisters are the characteristic symptoms of smallpox. Like another form of viral disease is measles, and it is somewhat similar to the smallpox, but here lesions are small, and it generally occur in the children's, newborn children's, and it is characterized by fever, cough, and sometimes eyes infection also takes place, eruption of buccal cavity, cutaneous rashes, etc. And this disease is caused by the paramyxovirus, and it is spread by the nose droplets, throat, and mouth of the person. Another disease every year you must encounter by this influenza disease, and there are so many variants of influenza, and it is characterized by the fever, cough, headache, sore throat, and inflamed respiratory membrane, and this is caused by the myxovirus species. So there are some of the fungal diseases that are transmitted by air, and the most common fungal disease is systemic mycosis, and this fungal infection caused by the inhalation of the fungal spores, and it is characterized by mycosis that is initiated in the skin. You can see in the tongue of this child there is a lesion on the tongue, and this is the characteristic feature of the systemic mycosis that are caused by the fungal species, and symptoms include fever, chill, night sweat, weight loss, and depression. And obviously the one of the cause of this fungal infection is taking high doses of antibiotic for some time, because this antibiotic kills our beneficial bacterial that the beneficial that may affects our body in a positive way, but after taking antibiotic you are killing all the beneficial bacteria from your body, so the fungi may attack and attack on your skins or your tongue and other exposed part. The disease is known as the histoplasmosis, and is histoplasma. It is caused by the histoplasma capsulatum, and generally it is known as the Darling disease, and it affects lungs. Another disease is cryptococcus, caused by the Cryptococcus neoformans, and this Cryptococcus neoformans is AIDS causing disease. That means when you will attacked by this Cryptococcus neoformans, then you will have so many diseases, so many acquired immunodeficiencies syndromes like disease, that is collection of so many diseases that can infect your lungs, your kidney, brain, bones, and skin, etc. So this is the characteristics of histoplasmosis, है ना, माउथ पे जो नहीं आ जाता है ऐसे दाने दाने से जो हो जाते हैं, that are caused by the histoplasma capsulatum. Now, how can you control these airborne microbes? Obviously, UV radiation is one of the most important treatment. You can control the airborne microbes, and you can use direct radiation in the pharmaceutical preparation, in the medicine preparation, and indirect radiation you can use in the office and other occupied rooms. There are some of the chemical agents that are vaporized into air of room that are effective in reducing the microbial flora. So these chemical are dispersed as aerosol and so its antimicrobial action. अभी भी तुम लोग देख रहे हो ना, ये जो chemical agent कहीं भी जो sanitize किया जाता है, तो some chemicals are mixed and they are dispersed as aerosol to sanitize that surface. So there should be some characteristics of chemical agent that can be you use as a germicide. What are those characteristics? It should be highly bactericidal in actions and should be effective at room temperature and humidity even. And it should not stain or discolor or damage the object in which you are applying. And these are certain chemicals you can use as a chemical agent or as a germicide like triethylene glycol, lactic acid, and resorcinol. Another control you can use by filtration, and filtration is you are doing it in your normal microbiological laboratory. You are using cotton plug for plugging the flask. Then you can use the air filters like laminar air flow systems that contain higher efficiency. You must know what is the HEPA filter, and this HEPA filter is found in the where it is found. HEPA filter in UV laminar flow, and this HEPA filter is nothing. It contains higher efficiency particulate air that have ability to throw the microorganism outside their laminar chambers. And another is natural and mechanical ventilation of room. You can. So thank you very much. स्पीकर ऑन करो और पूछो, इसमें से कोई क्वेश्चन पूछना है। ये बहुत ही सिंपल चैप्टर है, इसमें से मुझे नहीं लगता कि ऐसा कुछ है। तुम लोगों को बस माइक्रोबायोलॉजी ऑफ एयर, सॉइल एंड वाटर करके पढ़ना है, ठीक है। बहुत ज्यादा डीप नहीं जानना है। सम जो माइक्रोबियल ट्रांसमिटेड डिजीज पूछेंगे उनका कंट्रोल पूछ सकते हैं, एयर एंड सॉइल का इससे रिलेटेड पूछ सकते हैं। तो ये तीनों चैप्टर, मतलब ये तीनों जो पार्ट है माइक्रोबायोलॉजी ऑफ एयर, वाटर एंड सॉइल, ये कवर हो चुका है। एंड नाउ वी हैव लेफ्ट विद सम टाइम, सो should I start the second topic?
बहुत जल्दी नहीं,
बहुत जल्दी हो गया। ये बहुत सिंपल चैप्टर है, बताओ इसमें तो कुछ ऐसा समझने वाला है? कुछ जल्दी हो गया, लेकिन ये छोटा ही टॉपिक है ना, इसमें और क्या पढ़ोगे?
देख लो, जितना कॉलेज में नहीं पढ़ते थे, मुझसे ज्यादा पढ़ना पड़ जा रहा है इधर।
वो तो होगा,